How to find your draw on liquidity in bull and bear markets. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys something that's going to open you guys' eyes real wide. Now, there are two ways to look at this draw on liquidity of a thing. Okay, either using trend or ARL to IRL logic. Okay, ARL to IRL logic. These are the two ways to obtain your draw on liquidity. Now, I still started with this way, but along the line, he said making use of ERL to IRL to become unique, because this was beginning to look like retail logic. But retail logic, ICT logic, I don't care, as long as the message is passed. This is what I teach my students, the trend logic on how to get your draw on liquidity. It's easier to understand, it's easier to grab, especially when you're coming from learning market structure, higher highs, higher lows kind of method and whatever. So also on this channel, I've thought about using the ERL and IRL logic, but for now we'll focus on trend. Okay, now how to find your draw liquidity on bull markets. First, let's talk about bull markets. So what makes it different? So let's remember, we're focusing on using trends to find this out. So bull market means an uptrend market. Okay, so uptrend market, bull market. The fact that we are dealing on a bull market in this example doesn't mean that we won't find sell trades on a bull market. All I'm going to be teaching you is what to do. Now, across these time frames, weekly, daily, and 4 hours, across these 3 time frames, you will need to apply this logic I'm showing you. When you apply this logic I'm showing you, you're going to know how to find your draw on liquidity on 3 of these time frames. So now, what is the logic? If, for instance, the market is in a bullish trend, which we can typically see, we are breaking structure highs. How do we find our draw? So we have these few principles I want to show you, and I think they're going to be 3 in number. Okay, the first one, which I've just drawn, the second, and the third. 3 patterns that you should watch out for. So if you are dealing with a structure of this nature and you ask, where is your draw going to be from this point? You come and you see the market just took out a previous high on that particular time frame. You're marking your higher high and higher lows. So where is the next draw? Where the next place the market is going to go? Now, if you meet the market in this situation, now the market have 2 draws in this situation, because for us to retrace back, in as much as the market makes higher highs and higher lows, we are supposed to be expecting this and then this and then this and this. But in this case, it's not going to be so. Why? Because for us to expect a pullback, then this has to be what I call an established high. And an established high is when the smaller time frame that is lower than this time frame of reference has a choke formed at that area circled. If there is such a change of character formed at this area circled, then there is a high chance that price is going to retrace on that time frame of reference. So if I'm talking about the daily time frame, okay, for us to know that price is ready to retrace lower, which means for our draw to be lower, for price to chase it, there has to be some sort of choke on the 4-hour time frame around this circled area. The market moving from bullish to bearish, it must happen around this bearish area, for around this cycled area, for us to be sure that price is ready to start trading lower to point of interest like fair value gap or other blocks or anything. Okay, so the thing is this: what we might have a situation whereby there might be multiple fair value gaps there or multiple other blocks there. That's not a case. How do you find which of those particular PDRAs that price will trade into? The other block or the FVG that can be refined across the daily, the 4-hour, the 1-hour, and the 15 minutes. Say again, the only POIs that you can mark as your draw liquidity are POIs that if you go on the 4-hour, that same zone, there's going to be a 4-hour POI inside. If you go to the 1-hour, that same zone, there's going to be a 1-hour POI inside. If you go to the 15, that same zone, there's still going to be a major POI inside this big zone. That's when you know that price is being magneted to that zone. Every other zone is not going to be like that. That's just the truth. You might see 5 other blocks or FVGs all scattered around. The truth is that only 1 or 2 would have these refinements linking other lower time frames. So that's going to be your draw automatically. What did I say first? This has to happen around here for this to be your draw. So when you meet the market in this phase, if this high is not an established high, meaning does not carry this property on the lower time frame, we are talking about daily on the 4-hour time frame, if we're talking about weekly on the daily time frame, you'll be expecting this. If we're talking about this as a 4-hour, we'll be expecting this on the 15. If that's not present here, then your draw is dice. Price can go higher or the side to break that chalk around the high later. So if price does the chalk, it's now certain that it's coming down. If price does not do the chalk, it's dicey, meaning it's either will keep going higher to meet higher liquidity pools, or we might do the chalk later. That's the first scenario. Second scenario is a case whereby you already have it this way. So let me draw this. You already are in a POI. You are in a POI, and that POI is present. We have the 4-hour POI inside that box. We have the 1-hour POI inside the same box. We have a 15-minute POI inside the same box. It means it's very high value area. So in this scenario, what do? All you want is a chalk from this point on a smaller time frame, like the 5 minutes, where this is taken seriously. Is the same thing you need to know. If you're on the daily time frame here, the chalk you want to anticipate is on the 4-hour time frame. If you're on the weekly time frame, the chalk you're anticipating here is on the daily time frame. If this is your 4-hour, the chalk you're expecting here is on your 5 or your 15 minutes time frame. Okay, that shows that this place is ready to pull price. Now immediately it gives you that chalk. Where is your next draw? This high. This high becomes the next place you're anticipating price to get to. Period. So right here I told you when you would have here as a draw or when it's higher, and here I just told you if this shows up, this is your draw. We have a third scenario. Okay, the third scenario is still on this scenario, but if you come to the markets and then you have a scenario where price plunged into a POI, but then is almost failing the POI, which is moving to the ending of that whole zone, then there is a high chance it is drawing to another POI down. Provided this POI can be refined across multiple time frames lower, then this is the next draw. If it can't be refined, then the next draw is that low, because lows are always going to be lows on every time frame. So the low is the next draw. That's its period. So another scenario you'd also still most likely meet is a scenario whereby price has reacted from a good POI, refined all through the time frames, and you find it on its way going up. Now in this one, you find it in the POI. Like I said, if it gives a chop, it's going here. If it doesn't and it's trying to fail, it's coming here. Clear. But this one, if price has already left this point, like showing that bullish momentum, then it's clear that this is your next draw, period. That's where price is going to. Same thing if you come and price has already left this POI that's supposed to hold it, already driven through, this becomes your next draw. Either the low or another high value area lower, maybe around here. Clear. So you can see that in bull markets, you can have reasons to find lower draw and higher draw. Here, lower draw and higher draw. Here, also higher draw and lower draw. The three different scenarios. Now, you have to lock these things in your head. You have to journal them. You have to go back test them. The same thing with the bear markets. So let's see if we can do the bear markets real quick. So with the bear markets, if the market is in this phase where it just broke structure to the downside, there are two chances. Either price creates an established low for that time frame. And how does it create it? By having a choke on the smaller time frame around this area, okay? Around this area. Provided it happens, then we know we are trading higher to a given POI here that is refined across other time frames. That's the next draw price headed to, period. Now, if that has not been described as a what? As an established low, then there's a high chance price is gonna keep going lower and maybe create this thing later and trade higher. But at the moment, it's just gonna be going lower, chasing lower liquidity pools. Second scenario in a downtrend is if you come and you meet price at a POI, and if it's reacting properly, gives you a choke, then on the smaller time frame, then there's a chance that this is your next draw. Okay, this is your next draw. And if it doesn't and it's trying to move towards the end of this place, then this is your next draw, which is higher, or another block sitting here that can be refined to all the time frames. Okay, when I mean that can refine to all the time frames, you guys know what I mean. Meaning you can find it POIs on all time frames in that same zone. The same thing in a situation whereby you're in a downtrend and then price has been able to either move into a very high value POI and it's racing down aggressively. It's obvious this is going to be your draw on liquidity, period. If you're struggling to know how to draw structures correctly, there's a video on this channel that talks about market structure for both beginners and intermediate and whatever. Watch this video, watch it, and when you watch it, it's going to help you. Okay, know about how I draw my structures and how I come about draw them across other time frames. So if you come to a situation whereby price is already failing this POI, then there's a high chance we are drawing to the next opposite end. So let's go into chart examples to see how true this is. Okay, so let's pick on the daily time frame. Now we are on the daily time frame, and please don't get me wrong, my daily time frame highs and lows are marked with red lines, so please ignore all these green lines you see inside or all these black lines. Just ignore them. Okay, focus on the red lines. Now you can see price took out this red line, which is this high. And what did the price do next? All price had to show at this point is a 4-hour chalk around this point, and that was a sign that price ought to keep trading lower. This FVG was not found across lower time frame, so price did not stop there. Neither was this other block, other series. And you see price kept trading lower till it finally got to the opposite end, because there was no POI strong enough to pull it higher. Period. Now we took out this low, which made it bearish at the moment, because we have taken out the origin low here. It made this whole structure bearish at the moment. And then when it's bearish at the moment, what does price have to do? Price have to retrace into a POI and maybe drop. And then price had no POI to work with. This was the only other block left. Remember, this FG is filled. This was the only other block left, and it did not hold. Neither did this rejection block hold. There is no POI of any sort. So that was why you see it traded back to the extreme end. So you as a trader, seeing that all of these POIs cannot be refined to smaller time frames, just know that price will slide through them. So you just keep being bullish and bullish and bullish and bullish to get there. Period. So we made this high, we retraced into a fair value gap. Now this is another example I gave you, whereby when price breaks a high, creates an established high on the daily, we trace into a clean high, very high value area, and then it reacts. What was the next draw? That high that was created on the daily is the next draw, and you see it just happened. And that's because here can be refined to smaller time frames. Let's see if that's true or not. So you can see that this same place colored gray is actually what? A sell side sweep on the 4 hours. You see that? A sell side sweep on the 4 hour, which is what? Also a POI. Sell side liquidity is a POI to me. And if you check the last same place, you find out that if you check here, you see that there is an order block inside. Of course, the price is respected. So all of this makes here a sure, this thing that price is going to jump from there. Okay, price is going to jump from there. So I'm on the daily time frame right now, and you see when we made this high, what happened was there was no serious POI around here. Then I knew that this is the next drop. Price is joined next to that low. Okay, how did I know this was going to be a daily high? Because definitely there had to be some chalk on 4 hours for me to confirm that this higher highs changing to lower highs and lower lows. So that's exactly what it does. So you see price has taken out this daily low and price has just been crashing down. Now is that scenario where I told you guys that when there is no established low, you're not trading, you're not retracing higher, you just keep going to be dropping to any available liquidity pool at the low. We just took out this low. There was no established daily low again after this, because for a daily low to be created, 4 hours has to flip bullish, 4 hours has to have a chalk, but it did not happen. Price just kept melting fast, no red line. So it means price will keep going lower, and where is it targeting? Is low. Price is coming to this low, obviously. Like I said, to keep going down to get to a liquidity pool. That's what price is doing. So you guys are seeing all of this. Now you ask me, so why are you showing us on only the daily time frame? Now the same logic governs all the time frame you want to work with. Just make sure you have your structures right, and then you would see the same thing. Now, if this is my monthly this is my monthly structure, this yellow structure you see here is monthly. Like I said, this red is daily. I'm on my weekly chart right now, and these are monthly big structures, and the black lines are weekly structures. Okay, so if, for instance, price takes out this low, and then I'm retracing, I'm watching all these POIs. I've gone to draw them and see if it's showing on daily, if it's showing on 4 hours, if it's showing on 1 hour, if all those POIs mean something on all this time. If it doesn't mean anything, all I know is price is getting here. So all I have to ride the trend. And how do I ride the trend? When I come on I know that okay, daily price is going up. I've gotten my draw. Fine now. Come on, that's weekly. Sorry, price is going up. I come on my daily. I see that price is going up. Let's say we are on this particular day, for instance. Let's say we come and we are in this particular day. Okay, yeah. I know my draw is higher because at that moment, this is what price is doing. Price created a high, retrace to get into this POI, and probably you can refine it all through the other time frames. So price is going higher. I know that this is my draw on daily, higher. Now what happens is, how do I get involved? I only get involved, let's go back there, track at the same time. Good. I only get involved when the 1 hour gives me reasons to. Now, if this is what's going on, for instance, okay, let's say this is a 4 hour high, 4 hour low, in those going. I like making my 4 hours going. This is a 4 hour low, 4 hour high, and it happens to be on this day. Yeah, because I know my weekly is going up, my daily is going up. Did my 4 hour support it? No, because that's the most immediate intraday time frame. It's going to show me my draw intraday. I'm going to look at where we are right now on this 4 hour chart. On the 4 hour chart, if we have made a 4 hour established high, then therefore price is one trading lower with any of these POIs available. And if this POI is available do not also represent a POI on the 1 hour, on the 15 minutes, then it means to get covered. So despite my weekly and daily being high, as I'm on my 4 hours, I'm looking at the structure. It's supposed to trace down. It's supposed to come crashing to this low. Okay, it's supposed to come crashing to this low. So my daily bias for this day will be bearish. If I come this day during my Q zone, if it has not been hit, my daily bias will be bearish until, even as price has flipped bearish all through, we're following the bearish trend. When we're going to follow the bullish trend, then we flip bullish on the 4 hours. Now we know we're in that scenario where I talked about, whereby price breaks a high and there is no established new high yet, meaning we just have to keep going higher until we get to the liquidity pool. That is the same scenario here, whereby we just broke a high, no established 4 hour high yet, so everything is just going to be going up. We're just going to be looking for buys. Now, how we're going to get into buys, the entry, the position, everything is entry model, and I did entry videos on this channel. You can go check them out. I'm not going to talk about entry at all in this video. This video is just all about market direction and draw liquidity. I hope you learned something. See you in the next video. Peace out, guys.